Okay, so now I've done all my prep. Let me just show you. We've literally got all the ginger garlic, onions, peppers, coriander, and then I've got my meat there. So everything's prepped. It's just now a matter of cooking. Right, so frying pan on. Using non-stick is preferable, but if you don't, of course, just be mindful that you'll just have to stir a lot more often, because it will stick, and it all depends on the pressure of your gas, and all of the above. I want all of you guys to feel kind of, how would I describe it? Excited, not scared. This is the first time you're going to be cooking my curry. I know you've probably cooked curries or have attempted them, but please don't feel like, oh, this has to go kind of perfect. We're all going to be learning together, doing things, and I'm here if you need the advice and support. So yeah, so we're going to start the cooking now. So let's wait for the frying pan to heat up. This is a new gas burner and it is actually very powerful. So it's already hot. I'm going to pour about, I'm going to say 2 to 3 tablespoons of oil. So just so that it covers the base of the frying pan. I don't want too much. If we need to add it, we can always add it later. I don't like oily food. And I know that a lot of people here, that Asian people cook with ghee a lot. It's not true, we don't. Ghees are actually for more pilau rice and things like kurmas, as opposed to our regular cooking. Most Asian families will use either vegetable oil or sunflower oil. Some use pure rapeseed oil, others use, there's a variety of different things. Okay, so now we're going to start. Oil is warmed up. I'm going to start off with the fenugreek seeds that I said. We call them methi. So we're going to just chuck that in the oil and let it sizzle. I wish I could show you guys. You can see that it's starting to sizzle. And then whilst that's sizzling, ooh, I don't want them to turn too black. I've lowered the gas. I'm going to add the ginger garlic. Feel free, if you don't want to cut and dice up the ginger garlic, feel free to use the paste or a block. You can, again, purchase these from your local Asian grocers. And I think, actually, saying that, Asda, Lidl, Iceland, all of them now do frozen ginger garlic. So you can always purchase it from them. If you do buy the frozen block, defrost it for a while or heat it in the microwave for about 30 seconds so it becomes of soft texture. I prefer using fresh because it gives off a nicer fragrance. For today's video, because I'm trying to use very minimal equipment, because I'm mindful not everyone's going to be having I don't know what it's called, a mortar and pestle at home. I've sliced the ginger garlic, but you can, if you do have that, use it to use the smashing thingamajig to do the ginger garlic, and it actually releases the oil, so the scent is ever so slightly different. So what we're doing here now is just caramelizing the ginger garlic, just waiting for it to brown slightly. I've put it on a slower heat. You don't have to have it on full gas. I've literally put it on near enough slow. Again, that's because my cooker is actually very powerful. My old cooker, I could actually leave it at halfway and it'd be really good and not burn, but this one does tend to kind of burn things. So yeah, as soon as it's become golden, that's when I'm going to add the onions. So I'm just waiting for this to become slightly cooked. So you can see here, pretty much golden brown. what I'm going to do is pop in my onion. And then I'm going to let that saute for a bit. I'm going to mix it well. Okay, so sorry about that. I had to pause the video because I was waiting and my dad literally just walked through because we have a downstairs bathroom here. So yeah, so what we're doing, it was perfect timing anyway because we're still just waiting for the onions to saute down. At this point, I haven't actually put in any salt. I haven't put in any of the spices. We're literally just sweating it down until it again caramelizes and gives off a bit of a colour. I would actually say is golden, but yeah, as soon as you've seen it's soft, you can at this point add the salt if you want, or you can just wait a little longer. What I'm going to do is add the salt in now. So I'm going to say for 1 kg worth of chicken breast, I'd say about serving spoon. About that much. I know it's quite a fair bit of salt, but what you can do is do a flat amount and then add it all in later. So I'm just going to put that in now. And then add in more if I need to. Remember, it's always better to do less salt now so you can add it in as we go along, because then once it's too salty, it's a lot more hectic to kind of get it out. And 2 ways that I reduce salt if it does become too salty is you put in a tomato or you cut up a potato and put it in, and they reduce the salt drastically. But we don't want to have too much salt in the first place, so just start off with less and then add it in gradually as you go along. You can always add in the end. Okay, so the onions have browned nicely, and what we're going to do is now start adding in the powders. In terms of cooking time, I actually started this at 5:40. The time is now 6 o'clock, so it's been about 20 minutes just with the onions and the ginger garlic. So to recap, when you put the fenugreek in, if you have it at home, it's literally about 10 seconds. Then you put in the ginger garlic, and that'll cook for about another minute. As soon as that's done, you just chuck in the onions straight away. At this point now in the onions, you can add in your cinnamon sticks, bay leaves. If you can with your bay leaves, just make a little tear in it so that it releases the flavour. And as for the cardamom pods, just crush them and then add it in and then just stir it in. Okay, so now we're going to be putting in the powders. You can put this in a separate pot while this is slow cooking down, just in case you don't want to have to put it in and then stir at the same time. So I'm going to get a pot. Well, there's a pot here, but I'm going to put it directly into the frying pan. So I'm just going to do this to show you. So I'm going to take a heaped teaspoon of turmeric, which is healthy for us, and as you can see, it's a good thing I had that underneath because it's fallen inside. Just sprinkle it in. You don't have to stir at this point. The next one is the extra hot Madras curry powder. Normal curry powder will do, you don't need to have extra hot. That's slightly heaped, not as heaped as the turmeric. Sprinkle that in. Got your ground cumin. Flattish teaspoon of that. And chili is all dependent on how spicy you like it. I'm just going to do 1 heaped because my nephew can't take the spice and he's going to be the one that's having this. And this is, bearing in mind, extra hot. So again, please adjust it to what you guys reckon your comfort zones will be. But I would say start off with 1 or 3/4 spoons, and then when you recook it again, then you can gradually increase spice amounts. Don't just start off straight with the, oh yeah, I'm going to go in there with the chili heat, and then you're not going to be able to have it. Unless you have it with some yogurt, but then you don't want to be in the bathroom the whole of the next day after doing your first curry. So yeah, so we're just going to mix that in. And what I'm going to do once I've mixed it, I'm going to put the lid on and kind of let it cook in its own juices for another 10 minutes. And then once it's been 10 minutes, I'm going to add in the chicken breast. If you have boneless thigh, feel free to use this. It's always handy to have a boiled kettle in the background, just because sometimes you might need a bit of juice, and clean up the spoon so whatever stuck to it kind of comes off. So yeah, so what I'm going to do now is just put the lid on, leave this on dead slow, and kind of let all of these flavours marry together, and then we'll put in the chicken. So again, it will be about 10 minutes for me, but it will be a split second for you guys because I'm only going to be pausing the video and then coming back to it. Okay, so now it's only been about